One day, your life will flash before your eyes. Make sure it's one worth watching. For me, this quote from the movie The Bucket List sums it all up. We're given one chance to live life to its fullest, and what matters the most in the end are the memories we have made with our family and friends and loved ones, our life's resume. Good afternoon, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Elizabeth Dennis, and I am here today to present to you my very first speech, the Icebreaker. As I thought about what I would like to share with you, I thought I could tell you about my education. I have a bachelor's degree in political science from UNCG. I could tell you about my career. I've spent 21 years working as a paralegal. Certainly I should tell you about my family. I'm married to a wonderful man who is retired from the United States Marine Corps and currently works at the Veterans Administration. I have a son who is a junior in college studying kinesthesiology at UNCG. I have two stepsons, one who is in the Air Force stationed at Nellis Air Force Base in Las Vegas, and the oldest who is married with young children who lives just down the road in Kerrsville. And yes, this makes me Grammy, a grandmother to two very beautiful young granddaughters, ages 7 and 3. Now, these are important details about my life, but these are not the things that I wanted to talk with you about today. What I want to tell you about today are some of the things on my life's resume. One of the things that I count as an accomplishment on my life's resume is rescuing a baby turtle. Well, sort of. Actually, I was the one who needed medical attention, but the baby turtle did get saved and moved to the wild. You see, my son and I were riding bicycles at the Piedmont Environmental Center with some friends when I spotted the baby turtle in the middle of the trail, flipped upside down with its legs flailing. Now, as someone who loves turtles and has had turtles as pets, my first instinct was to grab the baby turtle and move it to the other side of the trail. Unfortunately, what I didn't count on was that there was about a 6-inch drop from the paved trail to the grassy shoulder. So, when I jumped off of my bike, I didn't land on the pavement. I unexpectedly landed in the grass, twisting my ankle, falling off my bike, and landing in the shrubs. I knew immediately that I had broken my ankle. I heard it pop. Of course, when my 8-year-old son came rushing over to see if his mother had survived the fall, my first instructions to him were that there was a baby turtle in the middle of the trail and he needed to go and pick it up and move it to the other side of the trail. And then he needed to call for our friends who were ahead of us on the trail to come back and help me. As if breaking my ankle wasn't reward enough for rescuing the baby turtle, after they put that initial cast on my leg, it began to itch. And I mean severely itch. Turns out that the shrubs that I fell into weren't shrubs at all. They were actually poison ivy. You might wonder if I've ever been back on a bicycle since then, and I have. Probably my favorite bicycling adventure was a trip that we took in Savannah, Georgia. Savannah is the perfect city to explore on bicycles. It is composed of a series of squares with a central park at each square. We spent an entire day on bicycles in Savannah, visiting museums and historical sites, shopping and eating in its cafes. We even took a picture of the famous bench from the Forrest Gump movie. And of course, we geocached. Geocaching is something like a treasure hunt. There are caches hidden all over the world, and the idea is to use GPS coordinates to find the cache. And then when you find it, you sign your name to a log. I love to geocache and have found geocaches in many states throughout the United States and have even found a cache hidden outside of the Louvre Museum in France during our weekend in Paris. Yes, for our first year anniversary, wedding anniversary, my husband and I took a short trip, just 4 days, to visit the City of Lights. We visited many of the usual tourist attractions, but my two favorites were going to the Cabaret at Moulin Rouge and visiting the Rodin Museum. Seeing his sculptures in person was amazing. One unfortunate thing that I learned about Paris is that people smoke a lot of cigarettes there, and they smoke everywhere. For someone like me who has asthma, it was very unpleasant. David and I are currently planning our next big trip. We are planning to travel to Scotland, hopefully for at least a week. But before we make it to Scotland, we will be going to the Woolly Worm Festival and to the Carolina Renaissance Fair in October. We are planning to see Spamalot, and we hope to see another performance of the Cirque du Soleil. So while there are plenty of epic adventures left on my bucket list, I try to make the most of each and every day, choosing to add those "I'm so glad we did that" memories to my life's resume. There is a song by OneRepublic that I love listening to because it reminds me of these things. And the lyrics go like this: I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. With every broken bone, I swear I lived. Thank you.